listening to Combat Sports UK.
Combat Sports UK.
Arlo victorious tonight at XFC in their first combat jiu-jitsu event.
Nice.
Talk to me about the experience of being in there.
So yeah, it's the first time I've been in the cage. I fought in jiu-jitsu tournaments. So at Blue, it's like 6-minute rounds, and you'll have like 4 rounds, well, depending how well you do. So interesting having that long round. Interesting changing the mentality for there being strikes as well. Still catching my breath. So it was like more energy intensive. It felt faster. I can imagine it being a better spectator sport just because of that speed and that pace and landing the palm strikes. Like you feel the palm strikes. It's different to being hit with a glove, which is more of a kind of like a dull thud, which kind of like takes a bit to get your head back. But the palm strikes just tend to be kind of like not grazing, but like a bit more snappy and superficial. Doesn't have that kind of like loads of resonance to them.
Yeah, it was certainly an interesting fight to watch, but let's be honest, you absolutely dominated out there tonight. You were on top throughout most of the fight. He did catch you in a little guillotine.
I dug deep for that beast.
Yeah?
There's a little bit in my mind, I was like, oh fuck, how deep is he? And I decided just to listen to the crowd. And then as soon as I started listening to the crowd, I was like, actually, I took some time to listen, so it's not on. Like I'm not feeling like I'm losing that kind of processing. So I knew at that point I could get out, because I could feel that he was giving it everything he had. And he was just kind of like running out on his like energy then. So I kind of like, I went through that wave of his strength, and then I was kind of like coming out the other side. So by the time it started going down, that kind of like that pressure, I knew I'd get out.
Were you happy with your performance tonight as well? I mean, like you said, you landed a lot of palm strikes, you looked phenomenal out there, you dominated. Are you happy with your overall performance?
Like, to be fair, like, it still seems a bit of a kind of a haze. I know I can think about little snippets, and I can get like feeling of the fight as a whole. He's a nice guy, so like, you know, and I think that's the thing about the jiu-jitsu community. It is a community, and it's the kind of person I want to roll with again. And I remember him saying, I can't remember what his words were, but like I was on top at one point and I was going for the head now, and he's like, this is fun, isn't it? And I was just saying, yeah, it's a fucking different thing. So no respect. We both took the fight on a day's notice. So we found out about it this time yesterday. Like I'm 44 now, I'm old, so there are like, I don't know how many more occasions I'll get to do this. So in my mind, I'm carrying some injuries, and I just thought, fuck it, I haven't got that many good excuses not to do it. I might as well just step in and see how it goes, and I'm so glad I did.
I mean, we're only 3 months now into March. Are you looking to get back in there in 2025, or?
Like, I think I'm going to do the main thing for me is the jiu-jitsu competitions, just in terms of testing myself technically. Like, if I was 10 years younger, I'd be all over this. This would be the thing, but kind of like, yeah, maybe I'll do some more. I wish this was around, like, years ago, when I was into it. There's something special, adding that element of the palm strikes into it. And also, like, I'm used to being on the feet for quite a while at the beginning, and the ref would say, look, if you're on your feet, we're just going to get you on the ground. So in my mind, I was like, fuck, take it to the ground straight away. So that's when I like put him up against the cage, just because he had a good solid base. But I thought if I could get him up against the cage and keep the pressure on, if I could put the pressure on the top half of his body onto the cage, it would hopefully either make his legs light or would put the weight into his legs so I could take him down. So that was the plan, get it to the ground super fast. I love the cage, and I like with the lift, we've got like padded walls, and I like going against that. And then sometimes when we're going for like training for the jiu-jitsu competitions, and you're thinking, fuck, I'm going to stay away from the walls because you need to keep it in the middle and always get reset. But I really like the walls, so like, I like the cage. It's a nice, like, it changes the dynamic when you get to the sides. So yeah, this is great fun. This is an amazing kind of tangent to jiu-jitsu. I think it's a really good thing, combat jiu-jitsu. I'm sold on it.
I think it's going to get more popular as we go on, but I'm glad you had a lovely time. I can see you've enjoyed it a lot tonight.
Yeah, it's been good.
But is there anything you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Lift, all my coaches. Like, yeah, it's like the gym is just such an amazing community. And yeah, I think the whole team of people there, and it's, yeah, and it extends out to the MMA and Jiu-Jitsu community. Even though we're in the ring, like, hurting each other, you kind of like bond with people through that. I can't wait to roll with Robbie in a different context, like an open mat or something like that. And so yeah, it's the whole community, and that's what makes it good. It's like, it's a weird thing where you've got this competitive physical sport where you're trying to inflict damage and submit people, but they end up being closer to you, kind of like in terms of how you see them. So yeah, like shout out to Liv, shout out to everyone I train with, shout out to all my coaches. So yeah, thanks everyone.
It's a weird game, but phenomenal performance.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Woo.
There you go.
Nice, cheers.